can't really move, oh. He really, really moves, oh. Come on, sing the verse, y'all. I know he loves me. I know he cares. Whenever I call, he always is right. When I'm in trouble, he is my help. I know no fear. I know. Come on, we say, yeah. He really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Whoa, hey. Why would I doubt when he always comes through? My God really moves. Whoa, hey. He really does what he says he will do. My God really moves. Baba, hey. Baba, Baba. Why would I doubt when he always comes through?
Thank you so much, Dr. Frank Appiah, for this amazing opportunity to come and share with you and the great leaders that have gathered in the Maximize Leadership Conference. What a great concept to go from place to place and to bless God's leaders for leadership in ministry and marketplace. Ministry and marketplace. See, it's important for us to understand that leadership is not just for the marketplace. Leadership is not just for the church. Leadership is not just for the community. Leadership is for everybody. My name is Sam Chan, as Dr. Frank Appiah just introduced me. And my challenge is, as I look at leaders and leadership, everybody wants to succeed. Everybody wants to go forward. Everybody wants to make a difference. Everybody feels like if I only had the opportunity to do what I want to do. So everybody wants to do that. The challenge is that most people will not achieve that. Most people will not achieve that. And there are two things I want to share with you today, that if you will internalize this message that I'm sharing with you, that you will be in a place to actually overcome your obstacles and achieve what God has destined for you and your life. So thank you, Dr. Frank Appiah, for this amazing opportunity. Two things. I have to seize the moment, and number two, go the distance. Seize the moment, go the distance. Seize the moment, go the distance. Everyone together. Together, seize the moment and go the distance. I can hear you, so let's do that again. Seize the moment and go the distance. Okay, everybody, get your hands together. Get your hands. We're going to do some actions over here. Because if you will internalize this message in your life, it's going to make all the difference in your world. So get your hands together, because I want this to be sticky. You will remember this. 1, 2, 3. We have to seize the moment, and the fingers are pointing out now. Go the distance. Seize the moment, go the distance. Everyone together. Get your hands out there. 1, 2, 3. Seize the moment, go the distance. So the question that is begging us today is, why don't more people seize the moment and go the distance? So the way I want to teach this today is very simple. I got 3 sections to it. In the first section, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why people don't seize the moment and go the distance. Then I'm going to give you 3 ways to seize the moment. And finally, I'm going to give you 3 ways to go the distance. I have a gift for you as well, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Let's talk about why people don't seize the moment and go the distance. Number one is fear. Fear. Can I inform you something about fear? Nobody is born with fear. Every fear you have, somebody else taught you. You learned every fear you have. If there was a 1-year-old child who was crawling on this platform right now, you know what that 1-year-old child would do? It has no fear of heights. It'll just crawl right off there. Little kids, they see cars coming in the parking lot, they run out in front of it. Why? Because fear. No fear of hot. They'll put their hand on a hot stove and burn themselves. So every fear you have was taught. Hence, every fear you have was learned. So most people, the number one reason why people don't seize the moment and go the distance is because they are afraid. What are you afraid of today? I think you have to answer that question brutally and honestly, authentically for yourself. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Now, I know everybody wants to preach about perfect love, cast out all fear. I get that. I believe that. I practice that. But before you can get to casting out all fear, you have to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Am I afraid of failure? Am I afraid of rejection? Am I afraid of denial? Am I afraid of lack of resources? Am I afraid that people will not approve it? Am I afraid of criticism? What am I afraid of? Because every fear you have was taught and you learned it. So number one reason why people don't seize the moment and go the distance is fear. The second reason why people don't seize the moment and go the distance is a negative atmosphere. A negative atmosphere. A negative atmosphere will squelch creativity. A negative atmosphere will kill your initiative. A negative atmosphere will keep you stymied and stuck and stagnant where you are. A negative atmosphere. I want you to take inventory of your friends. I want to take inventory of the people that you're around. Because, see, negative people have a way of infecting your life. Negative people have a way of contaminating your life. Negative people have a way of not allowing you to go any further. And they say it in different ways. They act it out in a different way. They ask questions that are negative and they keep you in a negative atmosphere. So you have some choices to make. How do you walk away from negative people? How do you get away from negative atmospheres? How do you minimize those negative atmospheres if you cannot walk away from there? So number one reason why people don't seize the moment, go the distance, is fear. The number two reason why people don't seize the moment and go the distance is negative environment. And then, of course, the number three is previous failures. Previous failures. May I set everyone free today? All of us have failed. Everyone has failed at something. Now, I need to say a few things about failure. Failure is never fatal. Failure is never final. Failure is written with pencil. It can be erased. And you are not a failure. You may have failed at things, but you are not a failure. So previous failures will keep us from moving forward. I remember when I was growing up in India, the best academy in our St. Francis High School, it was the best academy in our city. My parents paid big money for me to be there and to go to school there. But there were so many distractions in life. And instead of going to school one year, I just didn't go to school. I left home as if I'm going to school, but never went to school. I failed my entire 10th grade. Failed my entire 10th grade. Had to repeat the 10th grade. All my friends went on 1 year ahead of me, but I had to repeat the 10th grade. That was when I was in 10th grade. Fast forward to 1988, 1989, when I got a phone call. I was pastoring a church in Michigan at that time. I got a phone call from the chairman of Beulah Heights University saying, "Hey, Sam, we are looking for a president. Our president just resigned, and our board has asked me as chairman to ask you if you will consider being the president of a university." Wow. You know what the first thought in my mind was? You have no idea. I failed academically. There's nothing academic about it. And you are asking me to be president of a university now? That's where you start seeing that God has a sense of humor. God has a sense of humor in which he says, yeah, I will not allow your previous failures to define your future successes. Every person you're sitting next to right now has failed at something in life. Some of you are failing at something right now. I just want you to know that your previous failures will keep you from seizing the moment and going the distance. And you have to say to yourself, that was then, but this is now. I'm at Maximize Leadership Conference. Not minimize leadership, not zero leadership, not yesterday's leadership, but I am maximizing. And maximizing means that I will not allow my previous failures to keep me from seizing the moment and going the distance. So we talked about three things already. Number one, why don't people seize the moment and go the distance? Is fear. Number two, it is because of negative environment. And number three, because of previous failures. But what I'd like to do right now is to speak to you what you are thinking right now. You know what you're thinking right now? What if I try and it doesn't work? What if I seize the moment and can't go to the distance? Because our brains are wired like that. You know how our brains are wired? Our brains are wired to tell us why it's not going to work. Negativity comes naturally. And so what we want to do is to start thinking about why it's not going to work and how it's not going to work and who's not going to help me and where the resources are not available. So all those things are going to be happening in your mind. I have a couple questions for you. What if you succeeded? What about that? I have a second question beyond that. You ready for it? The second question is even better than the first question. The second question is not only if I succeeded, what would happen if I exceeded over and above my expectations of success? What if on a scale of 1 to 10, I did a 15? That's how I want you to. So let me turn the corner and then going the distance. So let me turn the corner and share with you three ways to seize the moment. Number one, be self-aware. Be self-aware. Two things under that. Number one, remind yourself how far you have come. Remind yourself how far you have come. Whenever I'm going through a tough time financially, whenever I'm going through a tough time in my profession, in my career, I remind myself of 1973, August of 1973, when I was 20 years of age and I came to America, landed at JFK Airport in New York with 87 cents in my pocket. Brings tears to my eyes, makes my heart grateful, because all of a sudden I remind myself, Sam, you've come a long ways. Because God's faithfulness in my life is a true testimony on my lips. But not only do you have to remind yourself how far you have come, you have to be self-aware to what brings me joy, what brings me fulfillment, what brings me life. Joy is different from happiness. Joy comes from the inside. What brings me fulfillment, in which you say, wow, that was sweet. I want to do more of that. But more important than that is the last question, what brings me life? What is it that you engage with that fires you up? What is it that you engage with that energizes you? What is it that you know you're going to do in the morning and you bounce out of bed even before the alarm sets off and you're excited, there's a smile on your face because you know it is going to be an amazing day? What brings you life? So today, as I'm recording this video for you in Atlanta, Georgia, for my good friend, longtime good friend, Dr. Frank Appiah, I woke up this morning on the way to the church saying to myself, wow, what an opportunity to serve thousands of leaders globally, worldwide. Wow, Dr. Frank Appiah actually invited me and gave me an opportunity to share with thousands of people. It brings me life. It brings me life because I know that it can be life-changing for you as you listen to me, because we're talking about seize the moment and go the distance. The number one way to seize the moment is to be self-aware. Number two is courage. Courage. How many of you know everything you're going to do is going to require courage? Everything that is worthwhile will require you to say, I don't have it, but I can. I don't have support, but I will. I don't know how, but I'll learn. It takes courage to do what you believe you want to do. See, life is not for weaklings. Life is not for people who say, I don't know, I'm waiting on God, someday, somehow. They're always waiting on the when this happens. Courageous people say when and then people. But courageous people say, I don't know how, but I'm going to start doing it. Because all of us have heard the saying which says, the longest journey starts with the first step. I want to ask you a question. What is the next thing you need to do in your life towards success? It could be as simple as sending a text to somebody. It could be as simple as making a phone call. It could be as simple as setting up an appointment. It could be even simpler than that, than just going and Googling what you want to do. But what we want to do is to start planning the 10th and the 12th and the 15th and the 20th step. And that is what scares you. Because when you start looking way out there, it becomes almost like overwhelming. But if you take the first step, whatever that first step is, filling out that application, making that appointment, resigning that job, applying for that job, opening that business, closing that business, starting something, stopping something, speeding something, it takes courage. So to seize the moment, you've got to have courage. And may I encourage everybody at Maximize Leadership Conference is to be courage givers. There's somebody sitting next to you right now who's on the brink of making it happen. They're on the brink of greatness. They're on the brink of boldness. They're on the brink of success. And all they need for you is to turn to them and say, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Just infuse courage into somebody's life. Because courage can be infectious. Courage can be contagious. Courage can be passed on. So never ever underestimate the power of passing out courage. The third way for you to seize the moment is found in one simple word: daily. Daily. D-A-I-L-E-Y. Daily. Life is daily. Life is not weeks and months. It is daily. Today is it. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow I don't know about. All I got is now. Because all of us have to remind ourselves that we are today, we are a sum total of all the yesterdays. Today matters. What you do today, your success is not out there, your success is today. Somebody said it this way. They said success is never owned. It is only rented. And the rent is due every day. I'm going to say that to you again. It's really, really good. Success is never owned. Success is only rented. And the rent is due every day. What are you doing today? I know everyone's got plans for tomorrow. My question is, what are you doing today? Who are you talking to today? Who are you helping today? Who are you dealing with today? What innovation are you going to launch today? What contact are you going to make today? Who is going to be in your path that you can assist a little further with courage today? Today matters. So when we are talking about Maximize Leadership Conference, you see, you cannot maximize tomorrow. It's not happened yet. Today is the only opportunity. That's already over. But today is the only opportunity you have to maximize. Let me go to my last section. We've talked about why people don't seize the moment and go the distance. We've just talked about why and how to seize the moment. Now I want to share with you about how to go the distance. Number one, to go the distance, you have to decide. Decide, decide, decide. Make a decision. Most of us will not go the distance because we don't want to make the decision. But all of life is about decision. In fact, let me remind you that after God placed Adam, before Eve, Adam in the Garden of Eden, his first job, Adam's first responsibility, first task, first assignment was very simple. God said to him, name all the animals. Name the animals. So he said giraffe, rhinoceros, lion, dog, squirrel, lizard. So he named the animals. He made decisions. And then God brought Eve to him and said to him, hey, be fruitful, multiply, dominate. There are two trees here. Don't eat of this tree, because if you eat of this tree, you will surely die. Death will be on the planet. He had a decision. Eve had a decision. When Eve gave him the fruit, there was a decision. You see, the decisions in life, because of those decisions, here we are today. You got to make some decisions. Some of you are waiting to make decisions, and it's not going to happen like that. You know how it's going to happen? Is when you make a decision. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will decide. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Though none go with me. As for me and my house, again and again and again, he decided to go to the cross. Decisions have been part of all that we do. Many of you are waiting to make the decision. And you want to be sure when you make the decision. But here's the thing about that, when you're 100% sure, you're too late. You have to make the decision with the information you have right now, with all the godly counsel you have right now. Decide. That's number one way to go the distance. Number two is what you will face. And if you're writing this down, here are the words: muddy middle. Muddy middle. The muddy middle. What's the muddy middle? Muddy middle is You are all excited. You're sitting there saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to denounce why I have not gone the distance and in my life, I have not seized the moment in my life. You have learned how to seize the moment and you are ready to charge it. And I want to tell you, I'm excited with you. But I also want to tell you what's going to happen in the middle. It's called the muddy middle. So if I was drawing a graph, this is where I'm starting, all excited about it. And this is where I'll be celebrating when mission accomplished. Between here and there, you're going to run into where everything gets middle, where everything gets bogged down, where it feels like you're not making the progress you need to make. It seems like it's taking longer than you anticipated. It feels like you are spending more money than you are taking in. It feels like your customer base is not increasing. It feels like your church is not growing. It feels like it's just not happening. Because you were all excited about it when you started, and you were excited because you're going to complete it over here, but you're going to hit the muddy middle. So going the distance hits the muddy middle. So I told you earlier, I want to give you a gift. At this point, I want to give you a gift. So on the screen, they are putting up a QR code. And this is simply called availbox.com. Now, I'm going to give you this because you see the $10 there? For those $10, we're giving away over $3,000 worth of resources to help you to go the distance. So what will you get? Every month, you're going to get 2 books on leadership, Christian leadership. You're going to get 2 study guides every month. You're going to get a whole library of maximizing leadership videos. You're going to get all kinds of different resources on a regular monthly basis. Because for you to go the distance, you need to eat regularly. And what you're eating will decide the health with which you're going to complete that. So availbox.com. That QR code, everyone just put your phone on there. Put your phone on there. There you go, there you go, there you go. Because if you want to go the distance, you cannot do it just eating once and then saying, I'm going to eat next when I celebrate. You and your team need a regular diet of leading, regular diet of leadership. You can then do what this conference is all about, maximizing leadership. So every day, you can maximize it because every month you're going to get 2 books, 2 study guides, bunches of videos teaching you, and other resources. Availbox.com. The third way to go the distance is what I call incremental increase. Incremental increase. Now, everybody is looking for breakthrough and quantum leaps. But I have learned in my life that once in a while I'll have a breakthrough. Once in a while there'll be a quantum increase. But for the most part, it is just little by little, little by little, little by little. It's never the quantum thing you want. In fact, I want to give you the most encouraging leadership voice and leadership verse in the Bible that I can find to maximize your leadership. It's in Exodus chapter 23. God is speaking to Moses in Exodus chapter 23, verses 29 and 30. Verses 29 and 30. He says this, God is saying this to Moses, but I will not drive them out in a single year, because the land will become desolate and the wild animals too numerous for you. Verse 30. Little by little. Everyone say little by little. Little by little, little by little, I will drive them out before you until you have increased enough to take possession of the land. Keep the screen up there. There we go. There we go. Thank you very much. The context behind it is Moses is complaining to God How come we have not had a breakthrough? How come we are not already there? How come we're not already in the land of milk and honey that you promised us way back there? What's the delay? What's holding you up, God? When are you going to fulfill your promise in my life? Have we not all asked that question one time or the other? And again, God, where are you? When are you going to fulfill your promise? You promised me this, and I stepped out on faith and it's not working out. And God comes to Moses and says to him, I'm not going to do that because you can't handle it. You don't have the capacity right now. And then he comes to him and says, little by little. Again, everyone said together, 1, 2, 3. Little by little, he says, I will drive them out from before you until you have increased, that you have the capacity, that you have the courage, that you have no fear to inherit the land. Little by little. I hope you find that verse as encouraging as I do in my life. So let me conclude my time with you. Again, Dr. Frank Appiah, thank you so much for this grand invitation to go into the lives of countless leaders who are going to receive everything you're going to offer at the conference itself, and all that you're going to offer through resources, and all that this video will help so many people in different ways. So I thank you, Dr. Appiah, for this wonderful opportunity. And I want to thank you all the participants in Maximize Leadership Conference. And you know what can happen at a conference like this is we can get good information. We can have pages of notes. We can have full motivation. We can have grandiose ideas. We can have wonderful plans. But none of that is going to actualize and achieve what you set out to do unless you seize the moment and go the distance. Here's what I want to say to you in conclusion. You have what it takes. There's no doubt in my mind that you are anointed to do what God has assigned you to do. The only person standing between you and your success is you. So what I've taught today is not simplistic, but it is simple. Because once you say to yourself, I will do what? Have you got your hands out? Get your hands out. 1, 2, 3. I will do what? I will seize the moment and go the distance. One more time. I will seize the moment and go the distance. Heaven starts smiling over that because heaven wants you to seize the moment, go the distance. Heaven is ready to empower you, to put you into propulsion, into your destiny. But you have to say to yourself, I will do what? 1, 2, 3. Seize the moment and go the distance. Thank you, Dr. Frank Appiah, for this amazing opportunity. God bless you and may He multiply you.